A recent report from Jon Heyman has suggested that the New York Yankees are no longer in on Alex Bergman, according to recent reports, as well as what the plan is for the New York Yankees going forward with the hole on third base. I'm going to be talking about all of that here and why the decision was made to no longer target Alex Bergman here in this video. Before we get into it, though, we know 70% of you guys watching right now are not subscribed to the channel. If you're looking for a spot to get all of your New York Yankees news, you're in the right spot. Hit the sub button. Join us here on the channel. We are covering everything New York Yankees. But without any further ado, let's get into this topic because we know that there is a hole on the infield that still seemingly needs to be filled by the New York Yankees. But we've seen from many reports, and of course, Brian Cashman say that they are no longer going to be spending any big money, which is something that the Yankees are going to have to seriously consider moving forward. But in our first screenshot, let's take a look at this. While there have been several free agent infielders the Yankees have been linked to, by far the most attractive in terms of name value is former Houston Astros slugger Alex Bergman. And while the Yankees have also been linked to Bregman at various points this offseason, the prevailing sentiment of late is that they are not overly interested in pursuing him. So that's what we've been really seeing all offseason is Alex Bergman to the Yankees. We're looking at this. We're thinking, hey, that'd be a great third base replacement for right now, at least for Jazz Chisholm, and move Jazz to either second, move him to the outfield, do whatever we want with him, and we'll have a perfect infield to finish off the whole offseason. But now, looking at what we're seeing here from the Yankees, from Jon Heyman, from Sports Illustrated, from just about every single report, is that the New York Yankees are no longer even considering him as an option. Now, going back a few weeks as well, we saw that the Yankees are saying that they no longer want to spend any big money on free agents. We know that they do have the money, but it's a very interesting thing that they said they're not going out to spend any more to make this team better. And we know this team has gotten much better in the offseason, but we're still looking to add those few extra pieces that have really not had the filling, or have not been filled in the past few years. And Alex Bregman would certainly be that third base option to fill that hole that is right now. With Jazz Chisholm, acquired last year, certainly has filled that hole for the time being, but is he going to be good enough to continue a full 162-game season on third base? Does he have the arm strength? Does he have every asset that a third baseman needs to be elite in the MLB? And that's where the question comes into play. We know Alex Bergman does, and we know a few other free agents have, but the Yankees are out on all of them, according to reports. And as I mentioned, third base is that one spot that we really don't have that, hey, he's going to be there for the full season. Reports have been saying it's going to be Jazz. That was something that we've all kind of accepted terms with, and I'd be okay with Jazz there. But if we have an option of getting better on third base, that's an option that we've all wanted to see. We've seen Arenado, we've seen Bregman, there's many other names that have been kind of just floating around out there in the infield space, but with Jazz now on third, Oswaldo Cabrera as a backup, DJ LeMahieu was an option to start on third as well, one that nobody wanted to see at his age, and kind of the whole thing that played out. Of course, Robert Vivas there in a very depthy position on the infield. The Yankees do have enough players there to kind of rotate in and out, but will they want to do that is a serious question as well. We've seen the hitting potential from Jazz. It's okay. We left-handed hitter as well in Yankee Stadium. You always like to see that. We have Oswaldo Cabrera, a switch hitter there as well, and being able to implement them into the lineup every now and then, separately, will be a great option for the Yankees. But there also is the idea of having that everyday third baseman, that will be in there just about day in, day out, be a major role on the infield and in the batting order, wherever you want to put him. And right now, I don't think we see that in the Yankees lineup. We don't see this in the Yankees system at all, really, right now either. And that's where the question kind of arises through a lot of Yankees fans is what is next for this team. But this report right here kind of seals the deal for that with all the Bregman. And, at this point, what it seems like as well, Arenado. The Yankees, Brian Cashman said that they'd be done with offseason moves after Pinstripes give up on big moves. Those big moves, of course, being, pretty much everything we've been talking about. Pete Alonso now being floating around out there in the free agency market. Alex Bergman. Nolan Arenado still considers to be that big move. And with that possibility of all of those players being around the order, or, being around the lineup, being around New York, it sucks to see that the Yankees are not going after, not pursuing any of these, even just to kind of check in and see. You never know what these players are really going to earn. You may have an idea, but you also don't really know with guaranteed how many teams are pursuing these players and whether or not they want to be on a winning culture. And the winning culture is the New York Yankees. So it is, I don't think, the best idea by the team to just count out this season, count out this offseason as being done. There are many moves that were made that are absolutely fantastic, made this team better, 100%, zero shadows of a doubt. but you can always make it just that slightest bit better if you go and just add those extra pieces. And the Yankees have done that, but the big moves are ones that need to be made, and that also considers as well, the AL East is still going to continue to make moves, and the Yankees, the fact that they're being out really doesn't help their chances at kind of competing in the AL East. And I will touch on that in a moment here, but Jon Heyman had this to say. Heyman went on to note that the Yankees' biggest rival, the Boston Red Sox, look as likely as anybody right now to go with Alex Bergman. And that's one thing I think that we've all kind of kept wary of, is that the Red Sox are still going to try to add. The Blue Jays have not added, but are still trying to add. The Rays, likely not, but the Orioles as well kind of are floating around this space as well as being teams that are just kind of sneaking in here and there to look and see if they can add any of these elite talents. And the fact that the Yankees do not have that kind of system right now, that idea, really puts them in a disadvantage because a lot of players will want to go to the New York Yankees, but if the Yankees don't offer a contract, they can't really make themselves go there. So it is something to consider, and I think it's something that I want to know your guys' opinion on. Do you think it's the smartest idea right now for the Yankees to say, no, we're done, we're out on all of these players, or do you think that they should continue to really add as much as they can until they really can't anymore? I think it's something very interesting that we need to really look at, especially how it's going to play out over the season. But Jon Heyman also had this to say: I'm not seeing the Mets or the Yankees or Bregman at this point. Obviously, he's a great player. He'd help anybody. The Yankees, I don't think they're doing anything more big. They've done plenty big. I think they're one of the winter winners at this point, so I'm not seeing that for Bregman. So, as you see, Jon Heyman kind of coming out and saying that he's almost counting it out to be sure, to be certain. But I still am very interested as to why the Yankees are completely doing this without really any thought to it. And I'm sure there is, but it really doesn't seem like it. Kind of came out of nowhere as they did that. But when you're looking at the Yankees, they're trying to add some very specific items. And this article really here has, from Sports Illustrated, had a long period aim versus current needs for the Yankees. And despite talents like Aaron Judge, Garrett Cole, the Yankees' lack of infield offense firepower, on the contrary, the Red Sox have added hitters like Masako Yoshida, Rafael Devers, Trevor Story. The Blue Jays have managed their own roster with Kevin Gausman, Bo Bichette, Vlad Guerrero Jr. So in such situation, the Yankees have been relatively quiet since signing Max Fried. This failure to sign Alex Bergman could prove costly. And as I've mentioned, having that non-certainty on third base really could cause a few issues. Normally we see shortstop, second base. Usually second base have that kind of platoon option for many other teams around the MLB, but first base, shortstop, and third are usually locked down by elite talent. And having Jazz and Oswaldo Cabrera on third being that kind of flip-flop third base really is a bit concerning when it comes down to the power, when it comes down to the ability to solidify this infield. And once again, as we kind of look at what we are seeing right now from this team, I don't know if they have that ability to kind of lock everything down and lock what we have or what we need to have down. So let me know what you think about this. Do you think it's an issue that we're missing out on Bregman? Do you think it could cause a lot of bigger issues down the line? Or do you think it's a smart move? Let Jazz, let Oswaldo kind of work their way into becoming full-time, everyday players for years to come, as what it's looking like they're trying to make them be. But that's all I got for this video. If you did enjoy, give it a like, hit the sub button as well, and let me know what you think about all of this news here in this video. But I'm signing out. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you later.